Alright, what's going on, everybody? Back with another track workout today. So on these Saturdays, it's the day I just do some sort of linear speed or track work. And so this past training block, Saturdays, I've been doing 10-meter fly, 15-meter build-in. And so starting next week, I'm going to do a 10-meter fly, but a 20-meter build-in. Hopefully going to be hitting more of that top-end velocity. So the goal is 23 miles per hour. I'd be really happy with that, especially in a phase where I'm not focusing on track work. So the other days of the week, I'm just doing, pretty normal, strength hypertrophy training. Had a really good session last week, but was messing with some camera settings and just didn't really get it to look how I wanted it to look. And then the week before, I was in Houston, hung out with some family, went to a Freddie Gibbs concert. If you don't know who Freddie Gibbs is, I mean, big three, at least big three right there. Had some good training in that week, but it was a little rushed. And so 2 weeks ago, I got 5 good reps. Last week, 6 good reps. So today, shooting for 7 to 8 good reps. I'll be happy with that. So we'll get this warm up in and get started. And I think this will be a good topic for another video, but doing your warm-up with some tempo to it and short rests between drills, I think is a really good way to build up work capacity and endurance. And so when I do like my pogos and my sprint drills to start out, I always do them for 10 to 15 meters, and then I'll walk back and then go straight into the next rep. So I like to use that as a way just to help build my own endurance. Alright, so currently we're all set up. We can get this first rep in, probably like around 85 to 90%, not all out. So I kind of have realized that with my body, I just get faster as the reps go on. And so that's going to be the goal, just to beat my time by a little bit each rep. We'll see if the timing gates are cooperating today. Last week was not a great week for the timing gates. But I did hit a 1.0 flat a couple weeks ago, so I'm not sure how accurate that was, to be honest, because it didn't feel like a 1.0. So 1.05, not a bad start. Let's keep it rolling. All right, let's go. Rep number 4 coming up. Just another interesting thing I've noticed is that I time my rest, but I don't really shoot for a certain rest time. But I definitely haven't had to rest as long as I had to a few weeks ago. So like now I'm able to get a rep in, you know, after about, you know, a minute 45 to 2 minutes usually, whereas in the beginning I was having to wait sometimes 2.5, almost 3 minutes for my heart rate to come down, for my respiratory rate to come down, and to feel like I was psyched up and ready to go for the next rep. And so I feel like 2 minutes rest is like perfect in between these. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little more fatigue after that one, but I don't think my push out of the back was as good either. So this last few reps, I'm just gonna focus on really pushing, driving out of the bag, especially like those first like 5 steps, and then let the rest kind of figure itself out. Alright, so I forgot, that was either 7 or 8 reps, I'm pretty sure. So pretty happy with the sprints. Going into some bounding now, so similar idea to the 10-meter flies. I'm just gonna do a little jogging for 5 meters and then do alternate legs for 20 meters. This is kind of just working on like horizontal power, and alternating bounds honestly are probably like my favorite plyo to do, especially when you get the rhythm of it and the skill of it. It's basically a single leg depth jump, and so it's a really intense plyo, but I really love it because the rhythm of it feels really good for me. And I did them all the time when I was a triple jumper and long jumper. Yeah, it's just a really fun drill to do. So I'm gonna do a couple of these and then I'm gonna close out with a 200 and working on max velocity mechanics. So I'll have the timer on that. Hopefully I would like to get around 26 or 25. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's reflect. So overall, I thought it was a really good day. I think biggest thing for me on days like this is no matter how I'm feeling, and no matter what the last rep was, is to just being in the moment with every single rep is just huge for me. But I feel like that just goes across all aspects of life, right? Live in the moment and realize that only the present moment matters. You know, being fully aware and fully, you know, mindful of what's going on. But yeah, and then the 200 I ran at the end felt pretty good. I ran it in like 24.5, I think. That was probably one of the things I was more proud of today, was just having some grit at the end. I wasn't sure how good I was going to feel, but I pretty much just full sent it. Ran at 24.5, so happy with that. This training phase is going along well. I'll be doing some slightly newer stuff in the weight room starting next week, along with building out my fly-in. Hopefully we'll hit 23 miles per hour. That's the goal. And if I want to go back to competing in track, especially in the jumping events, I want to be much more physically developed than I was previously in college and in high school. And so if I can raise my linear speed and then just hone in on technique, I think I'll be much more successful. So thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.